Alguém longo. Eu digo, me bagocei numa aquela de manhã de manhã que eu ia jogar para a cena. Ninguém não me conhece mal. Eu não agora já. Eu hoje tudo, assim que o mais chegado que me tinha na nem no ago, aí se boada no betinha. A gente chegou de gato na boada. Ele me conhece mal. Ele não é bujo. Jiwava a gente nabe que dele no ago que esse né. E get meeting. Hoje tudo muito pego. Nossa vida muito. Chegou na Verano do Pingo, e eu não como se me conhece uma Jiwava na gente nabe que hoje que dão do aqui o aí a que eu ia lá que eu acho e para você não hoje hoje mal a gente nabe hoje eu sei o não vou hoje quando eu fiz o muito coado quando eu fiz o né eu mas o lugar dele e daí o que diz o jogo é construído o que na no tigre na no ago que jogo na ninguém hoje dá com nada assim na sabe que na eu acho que jogo também não há nenhum community de uma boa questão no pequeno mal vejo vai community de juízo com a gente nabe então não de não que aqui na uma de que manane todo sim uma goine não vai ser uma ninguém me conhece mal vejo sabe juízo com a gente nabe não é ana de nós coisas que não é mas a coisa de me conhece que quando abre de que não é mas aqui de casa um gente que eu não sabe jogando indo mas sabe que qual é a pena de que o signo e porque sem uma máquina que ele funciona com esse nível do ini na hora de cima que não dá que a gente não acho que não vai ter de caminhar aqui na mais de chique eu disse de bica no porque sem uma beijo de beijo a gente não mais porque o menino de vinho avô aqui na beijo no quarto porque sem uma beijo lá não não acho que eu seguir o carro não ini na como que não acho que o vai como que ini não ainda mano que tinha não nenhuma a prova ganhando carro desculpa pode não acho que quando ainda mal não me dá viu que tem já mas eu acho acho que o menino é a acho que o menino não você não ganha nenhuma winning eu de forma de cuidar para não morrer não é nada não vou ver eu algo You call it the Joe. Anyway, I'm just. Hello. Cannot. Is it China? When do you want card? Card we are. That's the usual suspects that take the tobacco and help us to make good decisions for people here. And watch over, keep in mind people that are really suffering, accepting. But I am not, it's like horrible stuff. Also, if people are accepting alcohol, and the way to help us out to kind of steer this position. Make the decisions for our land.
Good job, I appreciate that, those words. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 9:29 a.m. Michael, do you want to do a roll call, please? Yes, District 1?
Here.
District 2?
Here.
District 3?
Here.
And I'm here, Chairman. We have a quorum, Miigwech. Thank you. Next up is review and approval of the agenda. Any additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to add to executive session. I want to have a discussion on powwow funds for the powwows. I want to have a quick discussion on that, if you would please.
Okay. Also would add a mass request, Finish Line Southern Tribes. I think I put that in the executive. Anything else, council? Otherwise, motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Laura Lee,
Second.
second by Eugene, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is review and approve the meeting minutes for 10/25 and 24.
Mr. Chairman, only thing that we have on my secretary treasurer report from last time, I just got to provide him a copy of it. So if we do approve them, it's not in the packet here, so I'll provide a copy when I get back to the office. So my secretary treasurer report from the quarterly meeting, it's not in the packet here. So
Okay, so yours is, okay, I see what you got. Thank you.
it says attached, but it's not in this packet right here. So
Okay.
Motion.
Motion by Henry with the changes.
yeah, I got to still finish my arm. So
Motion with changes. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Laura Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is old business capital moratorium. Great.
Morning, everyone. As you know, the CAFO moratorium expires this December. So Natural Resources has assembled a team that's going to address some of the concerns, and we're just asking that moratorium be extended another 2 years. So we have time to continue the research and draft some proposed legislation. Are there any questions?
Are we gonna do legislation for this year, coming year?
No, the plan is if you guys vote to pass the moratorium on the second year, we're hoping to be able to have some draft legislation.
So you need action right now, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Extend it.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jay, for that. Motion to approve the extension of this moratorium.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Mike LaRock. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Next up is new business. We have enrollment resolution. Anyone have that information? I know that Andrea sent out some information, like a couple templates on that, I think. I think the whole thing with the enrollment resolution was to be like, Leech Lake did. They kind of announced that they were going to abide by the TEC rules in our next meeting, I believe, Michael, that we were going to approve Bill Brodee's suggested Article 2 amendment to allow Red Lake Chippewa into the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. And I know that's something that we were looking at, and I think the resolution or the announcement that White Earth was going to make was to allow the Red Lake blood to come into White Earth. So I know that was something that it would bypass the other requirements of Article 2 when it comes to like constitution reform and also constitution, what our delegates have been working on, that this would kind of be implemented before we get to those other recommendations that our delegation is doing. But we did receive information and support from our delegation on this matter of adding Red Lake blood to our Article 2. Questions?
Just a quick question. I'd like Shannon to come up, and I know she put a memo in here, but I haven't had a chance to read it. So when you don't read something, you want to hear from the horse's mouth. So we really want to know. I'm not calling Shannon a horse. I'm just saying that's the same. No. We just like to know. We have some questions about how this is going to affect our enrollment. What's going to do for our enrollment? Are we going to double in size? Are we going to quarter in size? Are we going to be 10% more? That's I think some of those questions that the membership needs to know before we kind of move forward with this. And I know at the TEC level, this is not a done deal at the TEC level either. So I mean, we still got to vote. We still got to vote on it on the 12th for the amendment. So. And people are, and I think Laura Lee, you had some questions about whether it was it's not a constitutional change. It's just an ordinance change or an amendment. That's what it is. So, and that's what allows us to do it with a 2/3 vote with the TEC to be able to change, to amend this. Because I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, the Constitution says any Minnesota Chippewa, doesn't say Chippewa tribe blood, it says Chippewa blood. But the ordinance says any Minnesota Chippewa tribe blood. And that's the only change that they're going to change, is they're going to take tribe out of the ordinance. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what we're going to be doing on the 12th, I believe. So, but we got to have 2/3 of the TEC to agree to this before we do anything. So, big question.
We really don't have an account of how many people it would affect. We do have 50.
My question is the other question I have for the tribal council or the reservation business committee here is that, do we do a pre-58 or what do we do? I mean, because what Red Lake did is at 58, they made everybody who was on the roll books in 58 a full blood.
They
So
make everybody a full blood, the ones who were born on Red Lake.
Okay. Okay, all right. But yeah, I mean, that's some of the questions that I have, I guess we all look up for the membership. So we just want to make sure we're moving forward, that we're doing it right for one thing. And I know it's going to be in a good way because with the things going on, I mean, a lot of the bands are are losing more membership than they're gaining. So I honestly believe this is a good thing, but I also want to do it the right way too. Big question.
Request the currency CAB from Red Lake.
Red Lake, can I share their data with us?
Yeah, Red Lake will.
They will, okay, that's not my other question.
Yeah, but we would have, the thing that Red Lake said, though, is that they would have to have the birth certificate with the father's name on it before they would give us anything.
Thank you, Shannon, I appreciate that. And, you know, I know that this is something that came up here probably a few meetings ago at the TEC level where I know other tribal nations were looking at this, and, you know, I think it's a positive thing. I think that there's a lot of our members are out there kind of at that 20+% that can't get over the hump, and that's gonna help them. And, you know, this ain't something that Article 2 is being changed by us. It's just that we're interpreting Chippewa as the same as Minnesota Chippewa tribe, Red Lake Chippewa, because we're the same nation, the same Anishinaabe people. So I know this is something that's been something that one step, you know, pre 3215 that we're moving forward with this. So I know that it'll help our kids. So be good.
It's only you know, I talked to some of my constituents in District 3 and some did have different questions about, you know, Red Lake issues, but, you know, I didn't have answers for that. So sometimes when we make these decisions, I know majority of people support it. I also believe that, you know, we're sitting at this table because we're elected by our constituents. So ensuring that we have the proper time to speak with our constituents too is probably really important. You know, there's really no action that's going to be taken until the TEC actually moves and votes on this. So I don't know if all the other districts had time to talk to their constituents too. So I always say, you know, when we make changes, data is always good to have the data behind before we make the decisions also. So, you know, I'll continue to talk to constituents too, but I'm not sure Representatives Summers and Fox had proper time to discuss with their constituents. Which.
Which, thank you. Henry or Mike, I know I got Patty here and Rob here, so, but, you know, this is something that, you know, that we've been working for since 2015 is 3215 that was passed by the TEC. And the delegations have taken this on, you know, and ran into many dead ends, I guess, how you say it, and, you know, struggling to get our people educated. I know Laura Lee's talked about it right now that people are kind of not really engaged into what at this level of the Constitution, which I don't think this is a Constitution. This is, I mean, it's part of the Constitution, Article 2, but for myself, and I think for other leaders, it's an interpretation. And I believe that Chippewa in our Constitution is the same as Chippewa in the Red Lake. Like, Patty's here, she can describe it.
This is Patty Straub, and I sit on the Whiter Delegate as a Whiter Delegate for our Constitution Reform Group. And I just wanted to let you know that we've been discussing, you know, this process, the Red Lake blood. We believe that this is a step in the right direction for, you know, that has been overlooked in the past, and, you know, we can attribute one of the other bands for noting that and bringing it forward. So I guess where we're at right now, we are fully in support of, you know, Whiter to proceed with that, as it, you know, it should have happened in the past and stuff like that. So, so we are, you know, we are in support of amending the MCT enrollment ordinance to allow and include Red Lake blood to meet MCT enrollment eligibility.
Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. And, you know, council, I mean, we don't have to like do a resolution that we're gonna accept it today, that this, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a word out to the people that as soon as the TEC amends Article 2, when we get that done, that we'll take in the red light blood. Is that fine with the council?
I don't think the amendment of the ordinance is gonna say we're going to accept red lake blood. All it's gonna say is it's gonna take tribe out of there. So Red Lake falls under Minnesota Chippewa blood. That's what it's gonna do. The amendment's not gonna be that we're going to accept Red Lake blood. Our resolutions say that, from Leech Lake to us say that, but at the MCT level, it's not gonna say we're going to accept Red Lake blood. It's gonna say we're changing that ordinance to any Minnesota Chippewa blood. That's what's gonna be, that's the change it's gonna be. So that, I just wanna clarify that's what it's gonna be, so.
Okay, I'd just like some clarification, so like, if this was all to go through, it wouldn't like change anybody's blood from white earth, it wouldn't up them up to like full blood or anything, because that's what I'm hearing a lot of folks saying, like, oh, we're gonna up my blood quantum, but if you have Red Lake descendancy, then that blood will be added onto your blood roll?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear about that.
I'm just, I have a couple questions about that. You had questions too about.
Reading through your enrollment recommended options, that these recommended options are not in the resolution, correct? They're not in the resolution. These are just something you put in your memo saying those are some options, correct? So now the fix the blood quantum for the 1941 rule base by making all individuals full blood. That's not on the table right now. That's just an option. Okay, all right. We just wanted to clarify that, and I'll go through I went through the resolution a little bit here. So I think we just got to be clear of what this resolution is going to say, and that the membership knows about what we're doing. So that's one thing I wanted to just reiterate.
Oh, Patty, is there a way we can get like some kind of education out there for folks, just to make it clear, like, you know, if you have Ojibwe blood from Minnesota, it's like if it's Red Lake or anything, that you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like people are getting confused and thinking that we're gonna accept Chippewa blood.
That is, you know, that's one thing that we're going to be providing, and some of the delegates are attending the meeting on the December 12th in Hinckley, which that's going to be discussed. And based on that, what we've been talking about is getting out there in the communities, each district. We've talked about this last time too, that we gotta, you know, provide some education on the changes that may be coming and stuff like that, and try to keep, you know, keep on top of that and stuff, and sharing that with our communities. We will have we will know, and we do have a meeting scheduled for the 16th of January here at Shooting Star, which we will go over that and stuff like that. So yes, we are.
Originally, the TEC was we were gonna wait till, originally we were gonna wait till January, the January meeting. But we normally do have a special meeting if we have one in December, and this is gonna be a special meeting, special TEC meeting. So, as the president of MCT, I was looking at not dealing with this until January, so we would have enough breathing room for our delegates to take a look at it, not just our delegates, but everybody's delegates to take a look at it. Because I thought that would be a stronger vote in January, and more of the tribes would know. One of the other things that I bring up, and we brought up as a council too also, is, you know, how does it affect the tribes that have moratoriums now? I think there's still 2 tribes that have moratoriums, and it's not gonna affect them at all, but it's how it's gonna affect the way they're gonna vote though. I mean, because to be honest, there's some tribes that, in my opinion only, that don't want to get any bigger because of the services and their per capita and everything else like that. So that's why I'm thinking that, you know, there might be a chance, and I'm just going to put this out there might be a chance that we might not even vote on this on September at the special meeting. We might push it back to January to get more information on it. But you know, those are the what ifs. I just want to be up in front and clear with everybody, but those are going to be those what ifs on that December 12th meeting. So I just want to be very clear with you guys, which.
So Shannon, did you talk to Red Lake tribal leaders also when you discussed it, or did you just talk to the enrollment department? Okay. That would be one other recommendation I would have is whiter tribal leaders, maybe have a conversation with the Red Lake tribal leaders. I see in the Leech Lake resolution that Leech Lake met with with the tribal leaders to discuss it. I think it might be beneficial, so which.
Well, Michael, do you want to read the resolution?
Okay, let's see. We don't have a number for it yet either. So this White Earth Reservation Business Committee, White Earth Band of Indians, whereas the White Earth Reservation Business Committee is duly elected. Do you want me to read all that, Chairman? Or you want me to therefore be resolved, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, let's get on here. I'm not going to say that blah blah word. I'm not going to say that. So I got me in trouble last time. So. Alrighty. Whereas the Minnesota Chippewa tribe enacted the enrollment ordinance in 2003, limiting the eligibility criteria for the White Earth Nation and the other reservations to only include blood quantum from the 6 reservation business committees that make up the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. And whereas the White Earth Nation intends to recognize Red Lake Band of Chippewa blood in the eligibility criteria for enrollment with the White Earth Nation. And whereas the Minnesota Chippewa tribe revised constitution language regarding enrollment is sufficiently broad to allowing recognition of Minnesota Chippewa Indian blood for enrollment purposes. And whereas the Red Lake Band of Chippewa meets the definition of Minnesota Chippewa Indians. Now, therefore be resolved that the White Earth Reservation Business Committee hereby directs the Minnesota Chippewa tribe to amend its enrollment ordinance to allow the reservation business committees to decide for their respective communities on whether or not to add Red Lake blood quantum to each reservation eligibility criteria. And therefore be it further resolved that upon amendment of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe enrollment ordinance, the White Earth Nation will immediately add Red Lake blood quantum to the enrollment eligibility criteria. Then he goes into I think that's the end of it there. And then it just has a vote. We hereby certify that the foregoing resolution was adopted by vote. So that's in a nutshell.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. You know, and I just text Phil Brodini and he has drafted language for us in December. So this is something that looks like it'll be presented at the next meeting. So, but Council, how do you feel? I mean, I think it's something that's positive. I think it's something good. I think it's something that we don't have to do a referendum. I know that Article 2, but also referendum or Resolution 3215, which the Constitution delegation has been working on for many years now, since 2015, and now we have a chance to do something in a more positive way to help strengthen our nation and also strengthen our children. So,
I guess I'm hoping that I haven't seen the TEC resolution yet, and I'll probably see that this week. But I'm hoping that the TEC resolution is written similar to ours, because it does state, if you look at it, it says it says it amend the enrollment ordinance to allow the reservation business committees to decide for their respective communities. So it's not a given if they change the ordinance, all the ordinance is saying that they'll accept the Minnesota Chippewa blood. I mean, I guess one of my questions would be that is if a tribe does a resolution like this and says that they don't want to accept it, is that going to be a violation of the enrollment ordinance? So that's one of the other questions we have. So and we're going to be discussing those on the 12th. So I just want to. Yeah, I mean, this resolution only pertains to us. That's what I think we got to look at. So.
Hey, council, do you guys want to take action on it or do you want to table it?
I want to take action.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene,
I have a quick.
discussion.
So I know, Chairman, you were just speaking earlier that if the TEC does change it, then we get information out to our people to make sure that they all understand it too before we took action. So I'm not sure if I heard you right there. Because the last one says upon amendment of the MCT enrollment ordinance, the White Earth Nation will immediately add red lake blood quantum to its enrollment criteria. So I support we direct the MCT to amendment to make the changes, and then, as a tribe, we decide after, but that's just my recommendation.
So pretty much just hold off until, so we like move forward, but take out immediate implementation.
No, that'll be done by the TEC.
Yeah, I know, but she's saying that she doesn't want to, she wants to put a safeguard there where if it
There's
passes.
going to be a buffer there because it can't, like, Shannon's not going to be prepared for it. For us alone as White Earth Nation, we have to prepare with Shannon. And it's something that it's just a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. It's not going to be like tomorrow, but it's going to be coming, And that's all we're saying. It's coming. Not saying it's going to be here like overnight and we're going to have to deal with complications, but that'll be with Shannon's department and also with upper management. So
I understand what Representative Erickson is saying is that, if we approve this and then TEC does go through with it, then it automatically goes in. What she's saying, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but what I'm getting at is like, we don't want to automatically just, yeah. We want
Make
to,
sure people understand
Yeah.
what's happening.
no, I'm not rescinding it.
Well, and then the other thing is that my biggest question is that, we do have some time. We do have time. I mean, this resolution, I guess you would say this resolution is not really going to the TEC. It's just ours. It's us. Leech Lakes was the same thing. When Leech Lake did their resolution at the last quarterly meeting in MCT, we didn't bring it into and put it in our, we just put it as informational. That's all we did. And that's all this is gonna be. But then I do kind of look at it too, is when you put that thing immediately, if on the 12th, we turn around and the TEC does adopt that, or does change, make that amendment to the enrollment ordinance, and this resolution says immediately. So I guess one of my questions is that do we have some time to maybe change that up to say that we're based on, I don't know, that those are the questions that we have, and that's what I hear Lorlee saying, is that, and I feel that we give Patty, I know she gave us a strong recommendation that this is a good way to move forward, but I mean, we need the time to talk to the people, and I know we're coming into the holiday season, it's gonna be tough for that too, so, but those are the only questions I really have, so, but maybe it's Chairman, there's a motion on the floor.
Yeah, and I guess what I want to say is this is the time right now what we're doing this. This is given the time for Shannon and her department to get ready for this, to prepare for this. And I think this is what this is kind of doing, is before the meeting that we're sending out to our enroll department to be prepared for this that's coming forward, and to give people our support of this amendment to our Article 2. So it's not like it's like we're dropping a bombshell. This has already been talked about. It's going to be coming up to our next meeting. It's been supported by our delegation. I'm just saying that this has given us our opportunity to be prepared for this too. Unless you guys want to wait till they then scramble around until, because right now I think it's something that Shannon's aware of it, we're aware of it. All I'm saying is that we're going to be adopting it when it gets finalized at the TC.
And my other question is do we actually need a resolution to direct Shannon to start the process? Do we need a resolution for that? I mean, if we directed Shannon to start it saying we're going to do a resolution at next month's meeting after the TEC meeting, I mean, that's my other question with the tribal council, is that do we need a resolution immediately today to do that? I don't think we do, but this is a body thing. This isn't a mic thing. this is a body thing. So those are just the questions I have, so. I mean, Shannon, you can work on it without a resolution. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So, I mean, but when we do a resolution, correct me if I'm wrong, legal, when we do a resolution, we're bound. I mean, we can turn around and rescind that resolution later on, but when we do a resolution, we're bound by that. So, especially if we vote on it, you know, I mean, so those are those what ifs that I have, so. But like I said earlier, I mean, this is a body, this isn't me. So, whatever we decide today is what we gotta live with, so. You got you.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't like if we say this here and we pass it,
And we pass it today, I mean, once, and then the TEC passes it, if we look at the language and say, well, we wanna listen, we wanna hear from our membership first, we could always say that, we could always amend this resolution and say, we're gonna wait a month. I don't know, those are the what ifs, so I don't think we really should wait a month, but I'm saying, I'm thinking out for the membership, really, I mean, we all are, so, thank you.
Well, the delegation just spoke, guys. That's who's working with our membership.
but the delegation has not.
We've been talking about
The delegation is gonna meet on this, excuse me, Chairman, I'm sorry. The delegation hasn't had a meeting, they're gonna have a meeting on the 16th of December and invite the community, right, Patty? January 16th. So that's just my question. I'm not against it, Chairman. I'm just saying we need to do it the right way. I'm saying. So if somebody wants to second it and do whatever, there's a motion on the table, let's move forward.
All we're saying is we're just gonna follow the TEC recommendation. I'll say,
You want to change that to that?
that's what it says, doesn't it?
Okay. Let's do that.
I'll be
fine with it,
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
So I gotta call my motion again since it's been the past 2 minutes. I would like to call a motion for the recognition of Red Lake blood quantum for eligibility criteria with the changes to remove the last, there be it further resolved that upon amendment of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe enrollment ordinance, the White Earth Nation will immediately add Red Lake blood quantum to its enrollment eligibility required, or eligibility criteria. I like that part removed just because if the ordinance changes, then we have to follow it anyway. So it's just, and that's the language that Representative Erickson is concerned about, I guess.
Well, I guess when we do change the ordinance in the next meeting with TUC, it's gonna immediately happen anyways. Because someone's got motion and second anyway. All we're saying is that we're gonna follow what the next TUC does. That's all this is saying, guys.
And I'm okay with that if you take that out.
Yeah, and I just think it's that last piece that's hanging everybody up because it seems kind of repetitive. If we take it out, I mean, we have to follow it anyway, like you said. So if we just take it out, I think I'd be fine with it. I don't know about the rest of the council.
Okay, so motion with the changes then?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Eugene with changes. We have a second.
Second
by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We good? All right, next up is the consent agenda. We have a few of them. First, from behavioral health, we have the Johnson Controls contract. Economic development, we have article petition support letter, ATCLE. For education, we have childcare license renewal. We have childcare license renewal. For finance, we have White Earth Nation Forestry and Wildlife Fire Facility. Architects, White Earth Tribal Health Department, flood damage. We have White Earth Natural Resources Fisheries Campus Renovation Project. We have the White Earth Department of Child, Youth and Families Contract Amendment. With the White Earth Tribal Health Department upper level remodel. We have the White Earth Natural Resources Fisheries Renovation Project. We have the Jack Hallman's Acute Care Phase 2 Certificate of Substantial Completion. With Whiter Treatment Substantial Completion of Gordon Construction. We have Whiter Children Care Certificate and Substantial Completion. With Whiter Family Treatment Fourplex Certificate of Substantial Completion. For health, we have the Gary Leva 638 contract. We have Child and Teen Checkup Grant Amendment. For Human Services, we have Terrell, Second Preference Business. For legal, we have the Concentrated Animal Feeding Lot Operation Moratorium Extension. We have 4 LLC requests. Council, you have any questions on those LLCs? Are we good? Okay. All right, then next up, the Housing Board Certificate. Natural Resource, we have the USDA Search Grant, $30,000. Also, we have the Pine Point Burn Pine Cleanup Contract. For Public Works, we have the Minnesota MnDOT Master Partnership Amendment. And also we have the Packard Culligan of Bemidji contract. For ratification, we have the Public Utilities Commission letter. And also we have the Human Services Supportive Housing for Young People. That's in the grant, $4 million grant. We're going to apply for that one. So that's a good one. I like that one. So I appreciate that. And
There's 2 extra.
and 2 additions. We have for Lindsay Darkon Health, we have our requested chairman to sign for IHS Director's Emergency Funds. And also we have Optima Management Company currently serving housing management and dream venture homes. If you want to come in, Guaco, Congress Housing, University Tiny Homes, request an additional amendment to include two tiny homes at Pine Point, 4 tiny homes in White Earth, and 5 tiny homes in Lake Tawas. Okay, council, any questions on those? Otherwise, I'm asking for a motion.
Motion with the additions.
Motion with the additions. Mike LaRock. Second by Eugene. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that came today and had breakfast with us. Also, I would like the motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Henry, second by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll take a 15-minute break. So thank you. Be good. Thank you everyone for being on board today, for joining us on YouTube. Have a happy Thanksgiving. You know, we're here to work hard for you and do a good job. So be good. Keep up a bit. Be good.